welcomed the entry of Chinese sports delegation. welcoming you to here with the opening ceremonies of the 19th Asian Game Village and the welcoming ceremony of the Chinese delegate of the Hangzhou Asia Games. We are going to start the opening remarks sessions. The Asia Games Village. How big it is?
杭州亚运村有113万平方米，相当于150多个标准足球场大小。如果说按照每小时8公里的速度跑的话，绕着外围跑一圈的话，预计会需要34分钟。亚运村非常的大，但是呢，它功能分区又非常的明确，因为杭州亚运村是亚运史上罕见的3村合并面积。比如说有运动员村、技术官员村。
We have the villages for the athletes, villages for the media reporters, as well as the villages for the international sessions. Now I'm actually at the opening ceremony of the 19th Asia Games Village, and I am right above the flagship squares, and it is the gateway of the international sessions. So when the games opens, it's going to be a very important public space. While they are designing this games village, they have introduced the concept of the Great Wall, and it's actually reflecting the vision effect of the Fuchun Shanju to one of the famous ancient Chinese portrait depicting the city of Hangzhou. No matter where you are, which angle that you are going to take the perspectives, you are going to have a glimpse of the beauties of the southern part of China. So today we are at the opening ceremonies of the 19th Hangzhou Asia Games. Just before today, as a representatives of the media reporters, we have a glimpse at where we are in the Asia Games village. After today's official opening ceremony, we are going to have such a traveling route. Behind me, it is the welcoming centers for the different delegations, that is to say, all the delegations from countries and regions, as well as their volunteers and also their staffs. They are going to arrive here and doing their registration process. On the left side of me, we have a bus station. This is where the athletes get their buses once they arrive. This is the drop-off areas for the athletes. So we all understand for the lateral delegations, they have huge suitcases together with them. So once they grab their suitcases, we are also going to have a volunteer giving them some of the directions. And through that channel, they are going to enter into the welcoming centers for the delegations. Right now, we are seeing the buses carrying the two athlete delegations arriving. They are going to be parking here because today, while before the opening ceremony, we had a very rainy morning. So in order to make sure that the athletes did not get wet because of the rain, we have moved the drop-off area a little bit forefront. So after parking in this area, the volunteers is going to help them with their package and suitcases, and after they get that, they are going to enter into the welcoming centers, because each one of these delegations have different numbers of the people. So the parking time is also going to differ according to the total numbers of the delegations. Let's look at small video clips about what kind of a registration process of the athletes that they are going to encounter inside of the athlete village. With the guidance of the volunteers, they are going to go through the security checks, the village athletes accreditation centers, and if they carry any meditation equipment as well as the photo shooting equipment, they are going to have a special equipment checking sessions. After that, they can actually take the buses to get to their athlete village. What we have described in this round is one of the sites that we cannot neglect it for the athletes after they arriving in the Hangzhou Asia Games. at the first time, this is the procedures that they are going to encounter. The second part that I actually focus on is that after they settle in, what they could have in their cafeterias. So let me give you an introduction toward the cafeterias of the Hangzhou Asia Game and what kind of dishes could they taste in the Hangzhou Asia Games. It's very easy for them, for us, to go to the cafeterias. So if you are working into this village, you are going to find that these kinds of huge buildings, while the cafeteria is a very low-key building and very conserved building compared with the heights and its outward looks, as well as the facade. This is a center where we have blended the red color with the white color, but the internal space has enough room to accommodate many athletes. It actually follows the standards to design primary schools, and it also follows the construction principles of the prefabricated buildings without changing the different sections designed in the different part of this Asia village. And we also got information that after the Asian Games, the cafeteria is going to be resumed back to the primary school. And in this cafeteria, you can also see a very distinct features. That is to say, on the rooftop, it is installed with the photovoltaic panels. That is to say, these are a cafeteria powered by the green powers. Now let's have a taste about the cafeteria. Once we have entered, there are the dessert area, food area, as well as the dining areas. So talking about the dining areas, we cannot neglect it that in the previous report, we have given leakage toward the athletes' menus. They have the Dongpo pork, the garlic-flavored pork rubs, and another part is the deeply fried pork. It's not only a taste of the Hangzhou and Zhejiang, it also integrated some of the Chinese features. Let's talk about the Dongpo pork. First and foremost, it might be a very familiar dish in the local people, but there are some of the details for us to change it because it's an athlete cuisine. So the yellow wine that is applied to the Dongpo pork might be replaced by other different alcohols in order to let them get a flavor about the Dongpo pork and also avoid the potential damages from the alcohol. I'm also going to tell you another special dishes with the cafeterias. It is called thousands of the counties and hundreds of the roof pieces. So in these dishes, it is a combination about the local cuisines with the Zhejiang provinces. Zhejiang is home to 100 different counties and towns. Each one of the towns and counties has its unique dishes. It's also a part of these cuisines that is providing to the athletes in the cafeterias while they are getting the buffets. There's not only some of the name attached to the dish, and also the ingredients is also a part of the introductory plate. It's very important for the athletes to choose the cuisines according to their needs. We have mentioned about the cafeteria as well as the cuisines and how did we cook it. And we also mentioned some of the special elements in the Asia Games. So let me give back the floor to the opening ceremony. Mr. Zhou Jie, Mr. Li Yan, Mr. Yao Gao to be on the stage to start the opening ceremony. Let us have a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
请各位嘉宾入座。
Welcome back to our live streamings. Dear viewers with CGTN, you are watching the live streamings of the opening ceremonies for the 19th Hangzhou Asia Games Village, as well as the welcoming ceremonies for the Chinese delegation. With these special ceremonies, we are not only witnessing the openings of the Asia Olympic Games, we have also opened the subdivisions of the Asia Games as well as the hotels. So here we are not only going to share with you some of the rare cases. It's actually a village combining the athletic village, the media part, as well as the sports technicians. So as a representative of media reporters, on the day of the openings of this Asia village, we have also toured around these areas. So once I have stepped into these areas, I was attracted by the beauties of these buildings. For example, it has a very deeply planted squares as well as the beautifully designed constructions. There are 2,500 rooms accommodating for over 5,000 media reporters. And for these media reporters, they have gradually moved in and registered. Once they have arrived, what kind of a process they are going to go through? Once the media arrives on the sites, we are going to see that there is a media registration center. So the security checks registrations and also check-ins. They are going to get their media reporters. The reporter cards at my hand is what I have go through and the registration process. So after getting the registration process, I'm going to arrive in the media village. Arriving in the media village, a lot of viewers might be curious about what kind of our rooms look like. With the permissions of the official committees of the 19th Asia Games, we are going to give you a site visit or a glimpse of the rooms. This is a 2LDK room. Once you step in, this is the living room. Although the living room is not very spacious, but there are two equipments. There are two pieces of the furniture. We can also have a feeling toward these two tables, very suited for our journalists and reporters to write the articles as well as setting up some of the cameras. For those of the media reporters who shoot some of the video clips in their daytimes and also write their reporting articles during the night, this is a very practical equipment. This is a single room. Very simple, but very kind-hearted, because we have set a special washing package in this room. One of the major parts for us is that it also has some of the pet room. What does the pet room plays as rules? Because a lot of journalists have a lot of very huge equipments. These kind of special corners are designed to set these equipments. So in this media village, at the gateway, there are some of the super spacious areas. So why do I call it super spacious? Because in these areas, it is going to play a role where we have. So what kind of role does it play? We find a clue here at the gateway. There are some of the parking lots for the public bicycles. So once I have noticed it, I can feel that this is the public bicycle. It is commonly viewed on the city of Hangzhou. We used to call it the red bicycle. In the media village, So how can we borrow this red bicycle? It is very easy for us. First, we have get our mobile phones and we scan the QR code. By scanning the QR code and we inputted all the name of the journalist place and with the phones, we are going to encounter it in the super residential centers and demonstrate the numbers with the frontline workers. They are going to give us instructions. With these instruction cards and with the swatch of these cards, we are going to ride these red bicycles. And you can ride it free of charge in the media's village in a green and lower carbon manner. So why do we call it the Super Games Village? Because in these service areas, it is adopting 24/7 operating patterns, and in these service centers, I have discovered a lot of highlights. For example, a lot of media reporters usually work overtime. They need to take some of the teas or coffees to power them on. So here we have two voluntary coffee machines and also the tea machines. By a simple scanning of the QR code, they are going to enjoy their cup of coffee. So another sweet thing for the media reporters is that not only can we see some of these public bicycles, and behind of these registration platforms, there are some of the storage patterns. We also have these charging pallets or the charging pencils, and there are some of the stationary equipments. And if we need to go have an interview at the day, and we can also borrow some of the umbrellas in that front desk with a return of it. We can also return it after the using. In the Asian Games public areas, it was very spacious and convenient. I have a site visit in the Asian Games village. We can also see the commonly seen supermarkets, the financial, for example, the banks, and once some of the media, once some of the journalists could buy some of the souvenirs in this media village, where we could find some of the beautiful mascots, as well as some of the official elements of the Hangzhou Asian Games. We are going to give back to the floor to the opening ceremony. Now we are going to have the flag raising ceremony. We are going to welcome Mr. Zhou Jingqiang, the vice representative of the Chinese delegation, to be on the stage. All rise up, facing the national flags.
升中华人民共和国国旗，奏中华人民共和国国歌。
The Chinese national flag is going to raise a cup together with the Chinese anthem. Please all sit down. So welcome back to the live ceremony of the entrance ceremonies of the 19th Asian Games. And our live streaming is going to continue. So now we are going to give the floor to our colleagues to give you roamings of the Asian Games village. Dear viewers with CGTN, good morning. Welcome to follow our live streaming cameras to have a sight about the Athletics Village. Together with today's live streaming, this is my first time to come to this Athletics Village. I feel that this is a very spacious area. It is fully occupied with all kinds of functions. Let me tour you around with the perspectives of village livers. So, behind me, we have parked two very colorful minibuses, and these are very specially designed minibuses to tour the athletes as well as the media, journalists, and also the smart artificial intelligent minibuses. How smart can it be? I'm going to get in the car and also give you showings. This is one of the Mr. Zhu, who is the engineer of the minibus. So good morning. I'm Zhu Jiefeng, together with Shangcheng Technology. I'm one of the staffs working with the Asian Games minibus. We can have a look about the two screens in this minibus. So how smart it can be? Can you give us an introduction? The minibus is equipped with the L4 driving functions as well as the augmented reality functions. Here on this vehicle, once you get on it, so we are going to get to the minibuses on this minibus in order to have some of the real demonstrations of the sceneries. This minibus has been initiated. Could you give us an introduction toward this minibus? These two minibuses is being constructed under the 3D images of the Asia Village game. With the augmented reality functions, we are going to have integrations between the virtual side and also the reality world. After initiations of these minibuses, we are going to have a glimpse of the videos. Once we have a boarded, these are some of these marks. It is going to give us some of the integrations between the virtual world and also the simulation in the world. We have installed several different minibuses in these villages, serving our athletes. Apart from the parkings and also fetching the athletes and other villagers, it's also going to give us a basic description toward the Hangzhou Asia Game Village. In the special positions, they are going to give us some of these instructions. So once we have parked these minibuses, in the village. So after interview with the Asia Game Village, I have several different feedbacks. Every day I have to walk such a long distance, no matter from the athletic village to the media village. You could also feel that there is a huge space in the Asia Games, apart from these two tourism buses. And we have also provided some of these fetching services. The second feeling is that it's very smart. Apart from the smart artificial intelligent minibuses, inside of this Asian village, we can feel that all these technologies are integrated. We are going to unlock each one of the science and technologies. Let's have a look in this area. A special vehicle appeared in front of me. It's been called ice spark buses because Hangzhou is still having a quite high temperature in these seasons. We have encountered these ice bars quite frequently. This is the most smart vehicles that I have encountered. Let's have a look in this part. After swatching of this part, I could buy my ice cream. So in this village, do not miss. Once you have encountered this village, once you have encountered this minibus, do not regret to miss it. This is the vehicle or the minibus with the ice creams. So please say hello to our viewers. I am with the Hangzhou Asia Games of the Cultural and Heritage Department. I was seconded to the Hangzhou Asia Games from Hangzhou Bureaus of the Cultural and Relics Preservation Bureaus. So my major focus is the heritage protection and preservation. The whole village was so huge. Every day I walked 20,000 steps. I also, by participating in the Asia Games, I've been learning a lot of game-related knowledge. I've also been trained myself physically. So you can have a site visit about the Asia Games village. Today I'm going to give you a briefing toward this special commercial route. So if in the whole village we provided some of the areas for the athletes to enjoy themselves, and in this part, the athletes could enjoy their cafeterias and also coffees, and also they can take some of the photos, and they can enjoy the massage, and they can have some of the makeup in these areas. These are the relaxing and entertainment areas. At the front of our work, there is a special playground, and after the openings of the Asia Game Village, every day there's going to be some of these performances and activities being upheld here. So this is the cultural cottage where we are going to have a site on. So this is the cultural cottage, the spacious and colorful room. I've been also mentioned that this is the relaxing and entertainment areas. In these 3 different small villages, no matter in the village officials' areas, we enjoyed these areas, and each one of these special cottage have its own themes. So here we can have a very huge Chinese culture, which is called the vivacity. It is the character resembles the mental enjoyment once the athletes entered into these areas. They are going to have a glimpse on the traditional Chinese culture. That's the reason why Master Gu mentioned that he used to work in the Hangzhou Bureaus of Cultural and Cultural Heritage Preservations. We have invited colleagues from different departments or different governmental divisions to join us. So there are over 20 different intangible assets that we have assembled in this cottage. So right in front of us, these are some of the accessories. There are 3 parts of the accessories. The first one is the knobs, and it is widely applied in some of the Chinese clothes. This is one of the decoration accessories indicating the good fortune. And these are some of the specially decorated flowers accessories. It is using the copper wires to uphold some of these silk lines. So these kind of accessories can go back to the Tang dynasties. At that time, no matter for men and women, they are going to access themselves with the different flower patterns. Because people have the pursuit of the flowers, but the fresh flowers cannot last long. That's the reason why they have preserved the beauties of the flowers in these specially made accessories. This is the city flower of Hangzhou, which is the sweet scented of Memphis. You can also have a touch with this piece of the flowers. It is called 绒花, shortly named, with prosperity and good fortune. It is applying the silk line, and once you have cut it, it is going to demonstrate a special spirit for the inclusions. Very precise. So if we work, this is the paper cutting pictures from the city of Hangzhou. This kind of paper cutting is actually representing the beautiful sceneries of Hangzhou. We invited the great masters of paper cutting, Master Song Chunling, to give us these kind of beautiful demonstrations. This is actually representing the city of Hangzhou 20 years ago, the memory of the Hangzhou in the past 20 years. We can actually follow the 10 different sceneries in the Sihu Lake. This is the people crossing, following the patterns of the Hangzhou. This is the teapots. I'm going to recommend you these two different special paintings and special people cutting work. This is the Greater Hangzhou Bay. And this is not scenery with Hangzhou. It is a scenery in the city of Shaoxing. The great cultural relics with the Song Dynasty. It is used to be the highest bridge that actually constructed in the Chinese history. So the bridge connected to the eastern part of the Dayunhe canals with the western part of the Dayunhe canals, while allowing the ships to go under the bridge. Now I'm going to give you more introductions. This is the printing technologies here in Hangzhou. In Hangzhou, we have two national level cultural heritage. One is the printing technologies. For this printing, it is the water printing. They are using the water-related colorful pigments to depict the beauties of the city of Hangzhou. This is the scenery with the Sihu Lake, which is being, this is the first version, second version, and third version. So while the painting has been gradually formed, we have added a different version on to demonstrate the different elements of this photo. So here, we are going to give our athletes and guests to have a self-made portrait. Can I have a hand on? Yes, please. You can grab this first. You can have the paint, and we selected some of these well-boarding words in this Hangzhou Asia Game Village in order to give the athletes our sincere gratitude, and we are hoping them could achieve their best result in Hangzhou Asia Games. Into circle the pigment in order to make them evenly distributed on the plate.
对，刷打圈的刷，对对，OK，可以了，对，然后就把它那个看一下，来，看一下，对，叫梁子。
This is what you can get with a simple handwork. So once we have arrived here, this kind of activities is allowing the athletes to get a hands on the Chinese culture. Let's move ahead.
对，这个就是我篆刻。
This is the engraving technologies. Applying the digital engraving technologies, the 3D printing with the traditional art printing technologies. Could we input some of the words by ourselves? Yes. I also want to try to input the Yangshi Xinwen CMG News. How long does it take? Basically, after you have chosen the Chinese characters, you need to click in and upgrade the different characters. We can also change the words. You also need to be connected with the internet in order to print it out. We could also see there are different materials for us to select with the engraving. Through this technology plus in the culture, it is going to help us with this tailor-made gift. You can bring this special print with you and present it to your friends as a part of the gift. Can I input some of the English words? This is a Chinese way presenting your hospitalities to your friend. It takes some of the time. Let me connect with the internet first. You can actually select the different part of the printings. Let me have a Chinese characters version. I need to input the CMG News. You can also select different styles. So which types of the characters do you like most? Let me select this one. I like this one. Once you select it, you can also present the artistic style with your own choice. You can also change the patterns and also the distributions of the characters. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to imprint the engravings. We could see the 3D printing machine starts to work. And this, while we are waiting, let's have a visit to these special areas. So could you give a briefing with our viewers? Hello everyone, I am the inheritors of the World Heritage of the Xizhu Silk umbrella. Let me give you an introduction toward this Xizhu Silk umbrella. It is a silk umbrella with hundreds of the years history. It is an umbrella covered with the bamboo shoots. Our technologies is divided into 3 parts. The first part is that the specially printed, and once we have printed one layer on top of the other, there's going to be a very distinct lines in the patterns. The result is also quite similar. Another decorations we could feel is that together with the printing technologies, the embroidery technologies, we can also give you a glimpse. This is a very beautiful silk umbrella. And on these silk umbrellas, you could feel that this is going to be a great barrier for the Chinese patterns. So what is going to be the interactive way? Once you want to make an umbrella, it's going to be consuming a lot of energy. Right now, we have bring these technologies. We have bring these special craftsmen to this silk umbrella making process. This is a cotton umbrella with the different patterns of the silk umbrella. So right now we are printing the patterns. After we get rid of it, we are going to set up another layer. These printing brushes and also these printing panels needs all of us to color it on. Once we have filtered it, we can start it to print them. The pigment is just like the pandas, so the result is going to be quite different with the painting process. It's also very time consuming. Yes, you should spread some of the pandas on this part. Yes, quite good. When you are spreading this kind of pandas, definitely there are some of the patterns in below. And for the colors in this umbrella, we have finished these kind of patterns. A very unique scenery in the city of Hangzhou and the Xihu Lake. Very exquisite. This is a special colored umbrella with multiple colors. It requires us to have 6 to 7 color pigment on top of it. The decoration itself means that on the previous 3 decoration patterns, we have the paint. This is a painted ancient Chinese drawings of the mountains and rivers in thousands of miles. Let's check my stamp, whether it is good or not.
电子篆刻的设备来刻的这个央视新闻的章。那其实，在这个文化小屋里面，
In this cultural cottage,
体验的这个电子篆刻，这边还有一个
not only
AI 的明信片，它是可以上传
by
自己的
what
照
we
片，
have
然后再
uploaded
给你打
here,
成明信片，楼
we
上
can
的
also
人就能够计算。
print
可以看
these
到这样的
stamps
文化
here
小屋
and
里面
also
非常多这种
send
定
it
制化
through
的
the
装束的礼物。
mail
运
office,
动员来
through
到这
the
里，你不仅可以
mail office
近距离
here.
去感受
So
这些
here we are
传
going to
统
have
中
a
国传统
very
文化，也能
close
够在这些科技赋能的一些新的设备下面去
looking
定制一个
at
属于
these
自己的
seals
亚运
and
的记忆。
stamps,
那么我们
bringing
也特
our
别希
own
望接下来
special
运动员们入圈之后，
impression
会
and
怎么样
memories
能
of
够
the
通
Asian
过这
Games.
些不同
Once we
方
have
式的
entered,
形式来
we are
感
going
受
to have
杭州亚
the
运会带给
Christmas
我们
and
无数人
beautiful
的
memories
杭州
with
的
the
记忆。
Hangzhou Asia
现场的
Games.
情况就是这样。
That wraps up our live streaming with the entertainment sessions. Thank you. Dear viewers with the CMG medias, we are at the central axis of the Hangzhou Asia Games. This is going to be the village sessions for the technocrats. So these are areas with a very fully functioned sessions. We have several different feelings that if you are going to it's also going to be very helpful for you to enjoy the process. And you can see these yellow lanterns being decorated here on the treetop. And in the game sessions, we are also going to have enjoyment of the Mid-Autumn festivals at the nights. In the middle of autumn festivals, when these yellow lanterns has been all lightened up, we are going to have a feeling toward the what the ancient poet Su Shi has mentioned, that we are wishing for the long-term accompanies of these people. And so if they want to have some of these special feelings of the Hangzhou village towns, they can come to the China Post to enjoy a special postcard. So I'm going to be here and enjoy this special postcard. So here we have some of the equipment where we can make some of these special postcards with some of the voice attached to it with a simple scanning of the QR codes. We can tailor-make our own postcard.
那我刚刚呢也是提前跟我们的这个丛丛啊合了个影，那我们就用这张照片。选好照片呢，
Once we have selected
开始
we can move into the next step and record our own voice.
欣欣向荣，爱达未来，我在杭州等你。
After recording it, we are going to enter into the next part. You can see on my phone, we have gradually formed this postcard and I can print it in the Hangzhou Asia Game Village's China Post printing machine.
好的，我已经听到我们这个机器里开始有在这个制作的声音了。
After several seconds, we are going to have our own newly printed postcard. On the screen, I also have some of these patterns of my postcard.
从下面这个口里，我们可以看到这个明信片正在一点一点在打印。哦，好的，那属于我的这张明信片就已经拿到了。那我们都知道，明信片要写寄语、写地址、还要盖邮戳。那在我们这个亚运村的这个临时邮局里面呢，也给大家准备了特别的邮戳。那现在呢，我们也再来这里盖几个啊。你看，我们看到有这个我们亚运的吉祥物的这个邮戳。那这个是我们的连链，那我来盖一个。然后这边我们看到还有这个像我们亚运会的会徽，也可以盖一个上去。那一般呢，我们这个上面可以盖大概2到3个啊，这样特制的我们的非常有纪念意义的邮戳。那么之后呢，也可以在这个上面写上自己对亲朋好友的寄语，然后写上地址，就可以到我们刚才的那个邮筒的地方，把它投递出去，就可以把你来自亚运村的祝福传递到世界的各地。那我们也了解到呢，在这个我们这里啊，是中国邮政啊，可以有100多个这样的世界各地的寄递的地址都能够达到。那么除了这个特制的明信片之外呢，其实在我们这个临时的邮局里面，还有一个非常有纪念意义的这个收集的物品，就是我们这里啊有我们在中国举办的3届亚运会的一个邮册，那里面呢有一些非常珍贵的收藏，我们也请这个我们临时邮局的工作人员来给我们介绍一下。就是我们眼前看到的这一本是吧？
对，是的。大家好，今天给大家介绍的这本邮票珍藏册呢，是亚运在中国，是非常具有一个亚运特色的一个纪念册。给大家展示一下。打开呢，首先就能够看到我们第19届亚运会的运动项目的一个集锦，邮票集锦。上面呢，就是有我们今年新增的运动项目，像电子竞技和这个霹雳舞，也是非常受年轻人喜爱的。翻过来，这边的话是我们第19届运动会的一个会徽邮票。对，这边有6枚。对。接着呢，对，是的，这个是我们第16届广州亚运会的一个纪念版票，以及我们第16届亚运会的一个开幕纪念版票。最后呢，是我们第11届北京亚运会的一个纪念版票。大家可以看到这枚邮票，当时的话也是非常受广大集邮爱好者的一个喜欢。就通过这本《亚运在中国》这本邮册呢，我们也可以感受到，就是中国的亚运轨迹，就是凸显了一个就是我们中国社会和一个中国体育发生的一个翻天覆地的一个变化。对，这个也是非常具有收藏价值的。
对，好的，谢谢。那可能是通过我们个人呢，想要集齐这么多这个属于我们中国亚运的这个邮票还是很难的。那在这里呢，有直接这样集成了1本的这个3届亚运会邮票的这个邮册，还是很难得的啊。所以呢，也是给我们的这个技术官员村的技术官员们准备了一份真的是诚意十足的礼物。那么我们接着再往里面去，沿着我们这个中轴线啊，继续来逛一逛，看一看。刚才我们说到呢，就是感觉我们整条街它的生活气息特别的足。为什么这么说呢？因为其实我们走在这条街上，大概你每隔不到10米的距离就会有一个服务点。你看，像我们一入口的地方呢，就是我们这个亚运特许商品的销售店，还有超市、美发，还有这个官方支付的一些咨询的服务。那么在我们的左手边呢，还有像这个快递呀。还有一些银行的兑换的业务等等的，都是非常的方便。就沿着这一条街，什么都可以满足到。那我们接着再往前走。刚才呢，我们也大致的在这条街上逛了一圈啊，还不时的看到有那个扫地机器人会在这里来做一个自动的清扫，所以整条道路的这个环境呢也是特别的整洁和干净。现在我们就走到了这个为我们技术官员村提供服务的一些工作人员的办公的大概的区域。我 们看到这个街上也是有很多的工作人员，包括志愿者，在这里服务。因为我们这个技术官员村的一个特性啊，就是它可能技术官员们不会像运动员啊，他们是成团成批的到达，可能是会根据这个时间会分批比较分散的到达。那么我们这个技术官员村的工作人员啊，他们其实也是要有处于一个24小时的这样一个随时在岗激活的一个状态。那在前方，我们刚刚看到有一个服务点，非常有意思，叫居民服务中心。这个名字感觉听起来就很像我们平时在自己家的这个社区的感觉。那我们进去之前也了解了一下，里面呢会有一些公共的空间，比如说我们的技术官员们可以大家凑在一起来看一下比赛啊，或者是一起做一些小活动，就很像我们这个社区当中的这种邻里中心的一个感觉啊。所以我们整个这个技术官员村也真的是秉持着一个就是家的一个感觉这样的一个理念来打造的，就是希望能让我们的来到这里的技术官员们有一种便捷、轻松、舒适的这样的一个环境，能够有一种宾至如归的感觉。而且我们可以看到对面呢有一个制服发放的位置，在制服发放的旁边就有一个制服修改的位置，就是如果你的制服有什么不合适了，马上就可以去那边改改尺寸。所以这个整个服务配套啊，可以说是非常的细致的。那走到这儿，不知道大家有没有听到这个潮水的声音？给大家听一下啊。听到了吗？那其实我们现在所看到的这个啊，是我们在这个技术官员村里设置的一个模拟我们钱塘江潮的一个微缩的一个装置。所以在这里听着这个潮声啊，其实走在这条街上也会非常的舒服，感觉到一种在江边走的一个感觉，心旷神怡的那种感觉。那么马上呢，我们就要到达我们眼前我们技术官员村的这个文化屋了。那我们技术官员村的这个文化屋呢，主打的是一个国风主题，当中呢展示了很多我们的这个非遗的精品集萃。一走进去呢，其实你就能够感受到浓浓的这个中国传统文化的这种韵味。我们现在来到了这个文化屋，我们进去看一下。
Once we have entered, this is a very beautiful drawings, which has a theme of the classics. This is a copper carving of the Qianli Jiangshan Tu, an ancient Chinese painting of the mountains and rivers within thousands of miles. So here, I've been viewing one of the works that has been done by Master Zhu, but this time I have seen it in a special copper designed versions of this painting. The copper and its engraving has been put these drawings into a real and living status. So I'm going to enjoy some of the special displays of the ceramics in the Song dynasties. So on this wall, you could see a whole display of the ceramics. We have invited the artist who's creating this part of the work to give us an introduction of these ceramics, Master Ye. Master Ye, good morning. So I could see that all these ceramics works being displayed here is very unique. Could you please introduce us the special Asia game related features? So well put it. Hangzhou used to be the capital during the South Song dynasty. At that time, it is a period celebrating the cultures with its unique pursuit for the exquisity of the culture. That's the reason why, in these times of the Asia Games, we need to combine some of the features with the Guanyao ceramics. It used to be the peaks of the ceramics making industry in the Song dynasty. The Guanyao ceramics have several different features, including a thick body with some of the cracking on top of it, adding the beauties and Christmas of these ceramics. So through this specially made ceramics, we can demonstrate the element of the ceramics in the Song dynasty. So here, I'm actually demonstrating the yutong, one of the major jade-made plate in the Chinese histories. And here I'm using the ceramics to mimicking one of the ancient distinct piece of the jade plate. And it is a demonstration of the king's power, including everything and on the earth. I'm also using this special vase. For example, my daughter is one of the torch carriers. So she made this. So what is this? This is the original pieces for the flowers and the awards granting ceremonies. It's actually representing the happiness and of the Hangzhou Asia Games. We are hoping that the athletes could actually surpass their previous record in the Hangzhou Asia Games. I could see that this is closely connected in every part of the Asia Games. We are representing these elements of the Chinese culture. This is what we call the tree root carving. So there are three different. There is a saying about the tree root carving. That is to say, 30% made by the artist, 70% generated from the original tree root. This is a tree root carving, and with the masters displaying their talents. About the peacock, with their tails fully displayed. So it has a special requirement for the technical skills of the peacock talents. This is a special tree root carving about a household in the mountains. So remotely in the mountains, we have carved some of these households. You could see that the clothes is hanging and the balcony, people talking at the downstairs. After viewing this piece of the work, I was marveled by the master. At the same time, I could also feel that their pursuit for their peace as a part of the ancient culture. So I could also hear that in this painting, it is especially work, and this is also the most celebrated piece of the work. It resembles the same pattern as a painting. And from the different part of this look, it is what we call the double-surfaced painting. And that is to say, if you look at from the forefront, it is one drawing, and if you look from the back, there's another part of the drawing. So here, it is areas, immersive areas, where we could enjoy ourselves. The technical officials, once they have finished their day work, they could take some of the teas and enjoy themselves. We have a master of the ancient Qing to enjoy themselves. The art. So Master Xu is one of the masters of the Guqin. So Master Xu, could you tell us what is the name of the music that you are playing? I am playing the Yanghu Shan, which is a musical pieces celebrating the beauties of the mountains and rivers in the city of Nanzhou, representing the Hangzhou people's hospitalities in their day-to-day lives, as well as their pursuit and passions for their lives. So I'm actually playing a guqin that used to be played in the Song dynasties. It is a piece of the musical instrument which was made by the Song dynasty. Today, I would say that this piece of the guqin has been used for over 1,000 years. So, using such a piece of the musical instrument, Mr. Xu, I can feel that you have demonstrating your sincerity. So, Master Xu has a training sessions alongside the Beijing-Hangzhou Greater Canals. I've been interviewing him before. He is the truly master of guqin, the musical instrument. This kind of a hard cultural element was deeply rooted in the city of culture. So here we are demonstrating some of the tea-related skills. These are some of the tea making skills. So I'm going to demonstrate you how to make the ancient Chinese teas.
这个点茶的话，一般
How long does it take for us to make the tea? It only takes 2 minutes.
老师刚说完，我就已经闻到
So
这个茶
after
的
the
香味儿
finishing of the
飘上来了，
sentence,
非常
the aromas of the tea came to my
好，那么老师
nose.
这边制作
It
可能
usually takes
还要
some
一
of
些
time.
时间啊。
It's about to finish.
这个好了之后，我们直接就可以品尝了。
品尝的，对，可以品尝。你看，我今天点茶是仿宋代刘松年，碾茶图点茶这幅画。
Today, the whole processes and also the and all the stuff together with me is representing what is demonstrating in the background background
这边是我
painting.
们的一个桂花龙井的一个制作。我现在看到老师们也已经开始往里面放茶叶，准备。
So I could see the
因为大家知
masters
道
are
现在是9
making
月份
this
我们杭州
special
独有的一个茶就是我们的
tea
桂花
and
龙井。老师，这些是不是就刚刚摘下来的龙井？
对，这个桂花是我们
This
今年杭
is
州
the sweet
这个
scented
9月10号左右
osmanthus
第一批的
龙井。
桂花。我们
This is the
趁
first
这个桂花开的时候，摘
because
首批
every
的桂
October
花
we have
用我们
enjoyed
的
the
杭州的
blossoms
西湖
of
龙
the
井
osmanthus.
结合
So we
的
have
做
just
出来的桂花
handpicked this sweet scented
我们杭州人民啊
osmanthus
对桂花
together
和
mixed
龙井
with
它
the
有偏爱
Longjing tea.
非常喜欢这种香味，所以说我们把这杭州最具特色的
And
现代的农产品，
this is the most celebrated
在亚运会的给
agricultural products
亚洲的运动员也好，观众也好，
in these new eras, and we want to bring it
给我们杭州
to let all the athletes to have a taste about it.
那么我们先也趁这个福利来品尝一下啊。这边呢是我们的桂花龙井，我们先对，然后那边老师的点茶，我们待会儿也去品尝一下。
Let me have a taste about the tea.
一口
Once we have taken a sip in,
桂
the
花
roots
散开
and
了
the
特别的香。
scent of the osmanthus flowers boomed in my mouth. These are the 4 different Longjing tea representing the
夏天
4 seasons in the city of Hangzhou. In the early spring, we have the pure Longjing, and in the summer, we have the
桂花和红茶
jasmine Longjing tea. In the autumn, we have the osmosis teas, and in the winter, we are going to enjoy the rose Longjing tea. This is the freshly picked roses.
香的花茶都是
All of these flower tea is a combinations with the Longjing tea and best flowers.
朋友们来到这儿坐下
So for all the technical officials, they can have their sip of tea while enjoying the process.
尝一尝。
出现的亚洲的鸭子。
哦，我们
So
看到
here
现在这个
we are going to decorate the Asian, the Chinese characters of Asian
来一杯感
on this specially made tea.
立体的啊，立体的亚洲的鸭，啊，好，来，下面感受一下啊。
我们这个茶杯是不是也是有
茶杯放完全按照那个来。
This is a very special teapot.
今天的福利有点
Today I enjoyed too much,
再来尝一杯这个
and I'm going to have a taste about the teas that he made. You could also feel that the tea pounders going through the filters in your mouth. I could enjoy it. This is the greatest beauty of the Song dynasties. And once the frontage was separated, I could see that in my mouth there is the distributed areas. I could also feel the time has went through in between the ancient paintings and also the modern masters. The modern masters follows the tea making process with the ancient paintings. With a simple taste of the teas and listening to the musical instrument, you will feel the time is always the same. You can also feel their pursuit for elegance, just as the ancient Jiangnan masters. So we are going to enter into the new areas. This is the Latin sessions. So one of the major renowned celebrated part of this Latin session is that there are so many different small parts of these Latin sessions. Each one of these Latins are made by the needles. And for this work, they don't have any supporting structures. They are using their own materials to supporting the structures. We could see that this is a very good, this is a very celebrated. So once we have worked in these areas, for each one of the work, you are going to be wowed by what they have achieved. This is really impressive. So we could also see the silk umbrella. The silk umbrella is very resembling these Latins. And in the silk umbrella, they did not use any supporting structures. It is 100% handmade by weaving the different panels of the bamboo together. We could also see what is behind us. This is a very massive silk umbrella. So I could see that it's actually bigger than me as a person. On these massive umbrellas, we could also feel the grey mountains and blue rivers. This is a painting about the rural areas in China in the modern times. We are stepping into a session where more and more handcraft stuffs and reservoirs and souvenirs are being presented. The printed umbrellas, the embroideries, and a lot of them are cultural heritage. Today, if you are working into the site, you might feel that it's very quiet. If you want to have an understanding about the stories behind it, the fine pursuing technologies, it is going to take some of the time. I also hope that these beautiful cultural heritages presented by these technical officials' villages could let you have a feeling towards it. They are going to give yourselves enjoyment about the traditional Chinese culture. Let's wrap up our tour here.
各位央视新闻的网友们，大家好，我是总台记者王悦。刚才呢，我的同事们
Dear
已经带大家
viewers
看
with
到了运动员
CMG,
村和技
I'm
术官
good,
员村市长
good
的样子。
morning.
现在呢，我在媒体村带大家
Let
看
me
一下
give
媒体
you
村
a
这边有
tour
什么。
in the
这边呢，
media
我现在
media
正在是
sessions
媒
of
体
the
村的
Games
记者发布中
Village.
心，这是
I'm
所有媒
actually
体记
right
者
at
来
the
到媒体
registration
村的第
centers
一
for
站。
the
那
media
我们在这儿
village.
会看到
So
什么？
what
会
can we
看到
get
什么呢？我们
here?
邀请到了我们这
So
边
I'm actually
媒
invite
体办
the
理中心的
director
主
Xu
管
Zheng
徐
to
峥
give
老
us
师
an
给我们介绍
introduction
一下。
toward the process in the media village.
媒体村
The
媒体
media
村的话
sessions
总
of the
占地面
Games
积的话
Village
是19.5
occupies a space
19.5
of
万平方米，地
19.7
上总建筑
square
面积的话是
kilometers.
66万平方米。
And
然后我
and
们
during the
赛事的
games
话会
times,
提供
we have
18栋楼，
provided
然
18
后近
buildings and
2550
2,500
套房，可容纳近
rooms
5000名注册
accommodating
媒体。
5,000 medias to check in.
那
So
我们入住的话，
what
是
kind
先
of
是要办
process
理
did
什么
we
呢？
go through in
的
the
话，我们要进行身份证注册
media
卡的激
village?
活。
First, we need to activate our RZ card in the media village.
啊，这边就是激活台。
对，这边就是激活台，就是身份证注册卡的一个激活。
哦，那我现在没有那个证件，我现在用的
So I don't have the registered card. Could you give us some other temporary introductions of the process? What if I did not bring my personal ID card? Do you have a e-variant of the personal ID card? Yes, I bring it with my Alipay. We have activated it. At the same time, we are also going to provide you with a band.
那我们接下
So
来
what do we do next? After successful registrations, we are going to check in here.
哦，这儿
Check
办
in
理
here, yes.
哎，你好，那我刚才已经
I have successfully registered. This is my registration card. What do I need to do? Please wait a moment.
现在就是一
This
站
is what we call the one stationary services. With these processes, we can check in.
哦，就是也给媒体朋友们行个方便。
Mr. Wang, are you going to leave at the 9th of October? Yes.
哎，好嘞，谢谢您。哎，
Thank you. Together with this registration card, I'm also with some of the brochures introducing me some of the tour guides of the Asia Village.
上面呢是我们整
And across these Asia villages, this is actually a map of the Asia Village. Because for the media reporters or for the journalists, they might be going to some of the destinations. Could you give me the introduction here?
麻烦您给我介绍。
This is a tour guide for the media
媒体
village.
的话，它是对媒体
It's a
村的这种
general
总概
briefing
方
of the
面进
media
行
village
介绍
sessions.
然后关于我们媒体扮演中心
There
是
are
流
some
程
other
在上面会有
processes
介绍
introducing
然后
us
相当于到时候的
at that time
到时候涉及到他们外
for
出
the
交通啊
transportations and
上面
also
会
for the
有流程性
logistics.
会有这本
This is
书
a tour
对
guide
媒体
helping
的
the journalists the most.
就是我知
I
道
noticed the
19
9th
号
of the
是
October.
我在这儿的
This is
1分
where
钟
when I'm going to leave the media village.
他好像还没付钱，
I did not pay.
付呢？
如果你还没付
If
钱
you
的
do
话
not
这边
pay,
有
we are going to have the payment
啊，
here.
付费台。
它这
You
就
can
把
payment
也可以
through
用
the
数字货币然后也可以收现金
online platforms,
是外
and you can actually use the cash to pay it.
现金，那我
So if I'm just arriving at the airport, could I pay it? You can do some of the cash exchanges in the area village.
商业界什么都有
It's very convenient for us to, once you have check-in, I'm going to give you an
带我入村，
introduction toward how did they check in. So I'm going to bring my maps together with you to check in my rooms. Once we have registered, we can enter into the media village.
通道的话，其实
人员通道就是再
So
次核
this
实你
is
的
a channel double checking your personal identity.
哦，那就是说我们在这里其实安保还是非常强
对，
大的。
安保还是比较严的，所以说我们这里会比较就提供一个舒适安全的给大家
Here
比
we
较
are
舒适的
providing a very relaxing and
这
safe
个人员通道之后，
areas for the journalists to take a break.
正式进入了媒体
We
村
are
然后这边
officially
的话我们
entered
会有接驳
into
车
the
到时候
media
所有的媒体
sessions,
可以乘
and
坐
we
接驳
can
车
take
到达他们所
the
居住的
buses.
活动下面
那现在我看
I
是
could
已
also
经
see
有一辆
there's a
接驳车
bus
在等我
waiting
了
for
是吧
us,
这辆接驳车到时候会
and
送
they are
到你
going
所
to
住的
take you
活动下面
to the building where
然
you
后
are
这边的
living.
话就是我们的商业街块
So here it is the bank, where you can exchange some of the foreign cashes, and you can bring it to the cars and the traffics. If I don't have the China Mobiles or the China Telecoms card, I can also exchange some of these areas. Previously, you are not only allowed to buy some of the reservoirs once you leave the media village, but right now you can buy everything you want during the process. These are some of the areas that you might need in your day-to-day life. We are going to take these minibuses to the village. I'm actually at the buses and they are going to send us to where we are. So let's start this journey. So Mr. Xu have just introduced us that here it is a public servicing area. We have the bank and also some of the public facilities. I don't know whether our friends with the live streamings is that we can also send some of the postcard in China Post stations. Through the postcard, they are going to tell their friends afar about what happened to them during the Era Games village. The Central Media Center is the major battleground for the journalist, but for the media village, it is the backbench for all of us where we can enjoy and entertain ourselves. Something we did not shoot is that on the benches there are so many different. This is a mark with so many different languages. This is called Nihao Bridge. There are some of the 5G installations here. Could you tell us what it is? The 5G Entertainment Center. So what could we see in this 5G Entertainment Center? Let's have a look. Because the rain is a little bit heavy here, so we are here at the 5G Entertainment Center. Right at the 5G entertainment centers, we are in the advanced stations. So what kind of equipment could we enjoy? Let's have a look. Sorry to interrupt you. Good morning. Could you tell us about yourselves? I'm from China Telecom, responsible for the smart Asian games. So could you tell us what this cottage is designed for? It is a demonstration zone for the 5.5G. It's also about the smart ISAC, smart speculating, among other different functions. This is a very small demonstration of the media part. In these times of the China Telecoms, this is the first time CMG groups is actually working together with the China Media Group. They are providing us some of the light-operated new media demonstrations. I'm not sure what the lightweighted means here. This is an ultra-lower 5G UDH speculating technologies. You can imagine the moderators or the host from CMG groups is facing their cameras, and they can bring this piece of the videos back to the headquarters of our CMG, and they can live stream it with the fastest speed of this network. This is why we call it the ultimate speculating and observing. We can also do some of the card-based mimickings. So sorry to interrupt you. I'm not sure about what is the difference with the traditional technologies. Generally speaking, the green patterns, lines. So you could also see that previously they are massive of the wires and also the services in the previous equipment. But right now with the 5G technologies, all of these signals has been transported in a wireless manner. So through the 5G technologies and also the cloud computing enables us to get rid of these unevenly distributed wires. And also in these rooms, you could also see the cameras. You could also see the 5G packages and also 5G backpacks, the video and audio sets, as well as other equipment in these 5G sectors. So we can also enjoy that the environment where the sportsmen and also athletes enjoys. Two of them can facing the viewers, and they could also feel that they are at the same live streaming rooms where the athletes can be interviewed by the journalists or the reporters at every single part of the world. So we are actually trying to mimic the scenes of the sports scenes. So this technology is going to be applied during this time's Asian Games. We are working together with the 5G demonstration centers with the CMG group. So this is also going to be viewed in the Central Media Center, right? Yes. Countries across Asia, as well as the reporters and medias, can enjoy the state-of-the-art technologies and they can feel the strong powers in China. This is the new phones with 5G. This is being Mr. Rui Jie. What is called the 5G New Dialogue? 5G New Dialogue is a specially tailor-made services for these times Asian Games. I don't need to upload any applications on my smartphones. It can be called and the callings can be initiated. Based on these new callings, we can provide some of the cloud-based smart translation. Right now, everything could be done through these new callings, but here, with our services, in these systems, we don't need to download some of the applications. So this is based on the 5G technologies. So this is a comprehensive solution. So could I have a look on that? I can actually calling for some of these colleagues through the remote patterns. This is a video that I could see, right? And here, we generated these phone calls. Zhu, please say hello to our viewers. Hello and good morning. There are some of the words which has been automatically translated. So that is to say, while I'm talking to the journalist, it's not only providing the simultaneous translations during the Asian Games, it's also providing some of the services to the colleagues. So can you see me? So I am actually standing in front of a mysterious installations. Could you tell me what does it read? So here, actually, you could also see that the machine could be capable of translating these poems. Is it rabbits? Yes. You can get the answers of these riddles. Why do you have this special equipment of the riddles? Because here, we are about, it is approaching the Mid-Autumn. During the Mid-Autumn festivals, we are going to invite all the tourists and also the athletes to check in And also for the Asian Games, we celebrated the 3 festivals in China: the Mid-Autumn Festivals, the national holidays, as well as the harvest festivals in China. So it's also going to let the foreign athletes have an understanding about the ancient Chinese festivals. A lot of athletes, as well as friends from the media and also the technical officials, they are going to enjoy their works in the Asian Games. But through the 5G new dialogue, new callings, they can talk with their family members, and this is going to facilitate their communication. With the new technologies, we could also see that there are other different installations and equipments. We have the green backgrounds, brand new AR photo shootings, and on these brand new AR photo shootings, we can also generate very good photos. And also, here we have a demonstration for the thousands of lights. After demonstrating that with the new technologies, we are going to let you have an understanding about the cultural cottage in the media village, to know what kind of traditional country demonstrations that they could give in the media village.
我们其实您看啊，我们这个新旧科技非常的接近，就是从我们这个5G 走到这个文化小屋，其实只跨了一座马路，上面呢就是我们的你好桥。这个你好桥呢也像
Just by simple crossing of the roads, you are going to understand the new technologies with the old ones by a combination of the villages. So right now here we are at the cultural cottage of the media workers. I think that some of you already have a tour about the cultural houses. So what is inside of the cultural houses in the media session?
哇，这边好漂亮！哎，你好，你好，您是？我是那个我们媒体村文化小屋的工作人员，我叫郭月门。哎，郭老师你好。
So, Madam Guo, could you give us an introduction toward the media sessions? This is what we call the mental learning sessions. Here we have some of the sealing schools. There are some of these demonstrations about the seal cuttings, seal engravings. These paintings or these kind of engravers or stamps is specially designed for these Asian Games. For these lines, it is a series of the engravings and stamps about the different items. For example, we are following the different Chinese characters at the different dynasties to mimicking the part of the culture. And below it, this is the major theme or the mottos from the first Asian Games to the 19th Asian Games. So here we are celebrating the themes and the mottos for these times of the Asian Games. And later on, we could provide you some of these engraving experiences. And we are hoping to invite the media friends to have a play at these stamps. So I would say that these stamps are of different size. So what the difference between the different size of these stamps? Actually, these size is based on the material itself. So this is a very unique displays and exhibitions. I used to see that these seals are quite unique. I could also feel that at the bottom parts, we are going to have an understanding of what the drawings could be finished. If it is some of these friends from the media, I can also learn from the engraving technologies. Yes, this the interaction areas for us to have a taste of on the different cultural relics. Today, Master Wang is going to give us some of these drawings and paintings on the fans. So, Master Wang, could you give us a brief introduction? So today, I'm going to paint you some of the lotus, Chinese lotus, because Chinese lotus embodies the beautiful and pure spirit of the artist in ancient China and also their pursuit for the justice. I'm going to take a seat while Master Wang is going to teach me how to paint it. So how could I paint it? Because the Chinese brushes are quite soft. You can draw this through a simple swipe of it. After that, a petal of the lotus flowers emerged. But it's very difficult for us to draw the very beautiful flowers. Today, we are combining these Chinese lotus together with the fans because it is one of the major ways that we can combining the traditional Chinese culture. For one part, the friends from the media can have an experience about it and they can bring the fans back, and the fans is actually it is going to be very important gifts that we present them. So I think if you want to attend the courses here, we don't need to have some of the previous experiences. We are going to let you have a basic understanding about the ancient Chinese paintings. Apart from the traditional Chinese paintings, we also have the traditional Chinese calligraphies as well as the traditional Chinese engravings as a part of the process. How long does it take for me to finish one session? 30 minutes per pre-class. So when do you usually provide the classes? During the games time, at 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are going to provide it. This is a very comfortable time for us to learn about the ancient Chinese culture because the media workers like me need to finish our work during the daytime, and also it is going to be a very relaxing process because we have heard the beautiful musical instrument guqin played at the background. You could also learn from the guqin during the Asian games. So let's follow this piece of the guqin. Could you give me an introduction about this guqin, this musical instrument? I was playing one of the major pieces about the guqin in Zhejiang classes, and it is being called the falling moon on top of the flattening lake. So every day I'm going to display this. I'm going to play in the music in a fixed time, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. as well as 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I hope the friends in the media village could have an enjoyment about the music that I am going to play to them. This is a lightweight guqin instrument. Because this is the first time the Asian Games displayed in the city of Hangzhou. I hope the friends could have a hand on it because the guqin was made by the ancient people in Zhejiang provinces. So we are here with a special guqin celebrating the wisdom of ancient Zhejiang people. They have also carved their name on this piece of the guqin musical instrument. I'm also hoping that I could have some of the times to listen to the guqin music during the games. These are some of these 八段锦 exercises that I could exercise. So 八段锦 is an ancient Chinese physical exercise, that it helps you to smooth the blood circulations in your body as well as strengthen your muscles. In the process, because of the Asian Games, we are also going to provide you some of these training courses. It's very easy to learn, and you don't need to. It's not very easy to learn for me. Baduanjing has 8 sessions. Usually, it takes 8 minutes to finish them all. In our day-to-day life, we suggest you to play one time in the morning and play another time at the evening. At the very beginning, I suggest you to play it very sincerely, and gradually you are going to be better mastering this Baduanjing physical exercise. I think this is a very simple method to introduce our traditional Chinese medicine as well as the traditional Chinese medicine treatment to the foreigners and also to the friends. There are some of the traditional Chinese medicine herb elements. Let's have a look about it. Once I entered into these areas, I could feel the smells of the traditional Chinese herbs. We could also see that here, these are the mostly used 64 different types of the ancient Chinese herbs. By a simple switch of the plate, you are going to understand what these ancient Chinese herbs are used for, and it's also being translated into English. So here, we can do some of the interactions. What kind of patterns do I need? What kind of drawings could we do? And the final result is that we can have our own package of the traditional Chinese medicines. The highlight of it is that we are using the traditional Chinese medicines to do some of the pattern makings. In the tie-dyes. So this is the tie-dyed fabrics, and also it is once you have tie-dyed it, the fabric is going to be given to you as a present, and you can use it to wrap some things up, and also you can put it, and you can use it as a handkerchief. This is a relaxing. This is the recreational and entertainment areas. We can do some of the paintings about the fans and listening to the routine musical instruments and have smells of the traditional Chinese herbs. And here we also have some of these displays of the ancient Chinese cultures. Dear friends, you can enjoy yourselves in the other different parts while you are part of these ferocious Asian Games. It's about the lunch times. I'm going to go to the cafeterias and the media part of the village. I'm going to wrap up my sessions here. Dear friends from the Asian Games, please follow the China Media Group in our live streamings in the Asian Games. Thank you.